Imagine seeing a car drive off the side of a garage. Not once, but twice. That's what happened at the Littlefield garage in downtown Austin. Two drivers, two different outcomes at the very same location.
I went straight down and just crashed, and I was awake the whole time. And it was the most horrific thing that I have ever been through.
Christy Bomer was the second driver to break through the cable barricades at the garage. She explained what happened during an interview with Fox 7 in August of 2017. Bomer says she was parking on the 7th floor when she hit the gas pedal by accident and launched her BMW off the building. It's a mistake she will pay for the rest of her life.
Apart from the head trauma, which almost got me, you know, I have a fractured sternum, I have fractured ribs, I have a fractured scapula, I have a broken tibia, I have a fractured ankle, and L4 in my spine exploded.
Christy has since filed suit against the garage owner and management company, partially because she found out just 10 months prior to her near-death experience, a man drove off the same garage on the 9th floor. That time, the cable barricade got caught on his front tire, suspending him and his SUV in midair. He was able to climb out with the help of a witness. It appeared the Austin Code Department was on the case.
We responded to the complaint that same day. We received a call from the Austin Fire Department.
But once city documents showed the barricade system did not perform its intended purpose during either crash, the city's building official, Jose Roig, says he made a site visit and inspected the entire garage. Roig says the garage was built in 1979, so it should have been constructed to comply with the 1976 Uniform Building Code. But according to Roig, the cable barriers didn't meet those requirements, even on the 9th floor, where repairs were supposedly made months prior to Roig's inspection.
The spacing between the cables was actually more than required by the code, and there was also loose cables in there.
In 2017, following the second crash, the building owner released a statement to Fox 7 that reads in part, quote, "After the previous incident, we engaged a structural engineer to review the situation, and repairs to the safety barriers were performed according to his recommendation."
At that time, Fox 7 Austin filed a public information request to look through the code department's case file on the garage. That's where we found the engineer's letter certifying repairs were completed in accordance with 2012 building codes. But Roig's inspection showed otherwise.
We found out that many of the cables were actually loose, and we also found out that many repairs were done throughout the years with no history of any permits.
We contacted the engineer who signed that letter. He said he could not comment on the case.
He shouldn't have signed off on that, but that's his responsibility as an engineer.
So how come the code inspector didn't notice repairs were completed without a permit?
What the inspector did is he relied on the engineer report, and that engineer report stated the repairs were completed.
A recent statement sent to Fox 7 by the attorney for the garage owner and management company blames the code inspector for the mistake. It reads in part, quote, "A City of Austin code official came to the garage at that time and provided instruction as to the necessary repairs. Thus, the repair in September 2016 was made while working directly with City of Austin code enforcement, and the City of Austin code official involved never indicated the need for a permit." That directly contradicts the owner's previous statement, which read, quote, "The City of Austin permitted and inspected such repairs to their satisfaction." Code Supervisor Matthew Noriega says neither of those statements is true.
He was told that a permit was going to be required and that an engineer report was going to be required due to the breaking of the cable barrier system.
Still, Noriega says his code officer closed the case without inspecting the cable barricade system himself. That officer has since been moved to another role within the department.
So he did not follow policy, so that issue was addressed.
Although Roig could file a complaint against the engineer with the Texas Board of Professional Engineers, he says they've elected not to do so in this case. Meanwhile, it's up to code officers to cite the property owner for making repairs without a permit.
We would file any charges if a building permit was not obtained. So that is one of the processes that we do follow if a permit wasn't obtained.
So is that happening?
That is something that we would need to look into.
This time around, according to city documents, the garage owner has obtained permits for repairs and has agreed with constant city oversight to update the garage so it complies with 2012 building codes.
They chose to go back with the cable system that is within code.
Code says the new cables will need to be no more than 4 inches apart, and an engineer will be required to demonstrate that the system can hold up to 6,000 pounds. Bomer can't help but wonder if that would have been enough to stop her BMW.
In all likelihood, if they'd had this cable system up to code, she would not have gone off the side.